Picture a man holding up the sky, not for a day, not for a lifetime, forever. His name has outlived every empire that ever spoke it. It names an ocean, a mountain range, and the very book in which we keep our maps of the world. And yet almost everyone remembers him wrongly. This is the story of Atlas, the Titan condemned to carry the heavens, and what his endless burden still says to us. Before there were gods on Olympus, there were the Titans. They were the elder powers of the cosmos, the children of earth and sky, and for an age they ruled all things under their king Kronos. Into that age Atlas was born, a son of the Titan Iapetus and the ocean nymph Clymene. His was a formidable bloodline. His brothers were Menoetius, the reckless, Epimetheus, who thought only after acting, and Prometheus, the cleverest mind in creation, the one who would one day steal fire for mankind. Where Prometheus carried cunning, Atlas carried strength. Even among Titans, his was a name spoken with a kind of awe. But the age of the Titans was not to last. From Kronos' own line rose a challenger, Zeus, who had escaped his father's hunger and come back to overthrow him. The cosmos split in two. On one side, the young Olympians. On the other, the old order of the Titans. And when the lines were drawn, Atlas did not hesitate. He stood with his kind. Some say he did more than stand, that Atlas became the great war leader of the Titan host, the strength at the front of their line. It was a choice that would define not just his life, but his eternity. The war between Titans and Olympians is remembered as the Titanomachy, and it is said to have raged for 10 long years. This was not a battle of men. When these powers fought, mountains were torn from their roots and hurled like stones. The sea boiled, the earth groaned, the sky itself shook with the thunder of it. For a decade, neither side could break the other. What finally turned the war was not strength but alliance. Zeus went down into the depths of the earth and freed the monstrous ones his father had imprisoned. The Cyclopes, who forged for him the thunderbolt, and the 100-handed giants, who could hurl 100 boulders at once. With that power unleashed, the tide broke. The Titans were beaten at last, and Zeus sat as master of the cosmos. Now came the reckoning. The defeated Titans were dragged down into Tartarus, the black pit that lies as far beneath the earth as the earth lies beneath the sky, and there they were chained in the dark. But for Atlas, the champion who had led the war against him, Zeus reserved something crueler than any prison. He would not be hidden in the dark and forgotten. He would be made to stand at the very western edge of the world, where the sun goes down. And there, upon his neck and shoulders and outstretched arms, he would take up the whole weight of the sky. He would hold the heavens apart from the earth so that they could never again come together, and he would do it forever. Understand what that sentence truly was. Not death. The Titans were deathless. Not the oblivion of the pit. It was labor without end and without meaning. The entire weight of the heavens pressing down, and nothing to do but bear it, alone, at the lonely rim of the world, while the ages turned. The other Titans at least had the mercy of darkness. Atlas was given the open sky, the very thing that would crush him, and the strength to hold it up for all time. And the world went on around his suffering. Atlas had fathered many children, and they scattered across the heavens and the earth. His daughters became the Pleiades and the Hyades, set among the stars. Another daughter, Maia, would bear Hermes to Zeus himself. And near the place where he stood his endless watch, in a garden at the world's western edge, his daughters, the Hesperides, tended a tree that grew apples of gold. Life bloomed and turned and forgot, and through all of it, unmoving, Atlas held up the sky. For most of eternity, nothing changed. But there came a day, a single day in all those endless years, when Atlas was offered a taste of freedom, and it came in the shape of a hero. Heracles, the greatest of mortal heroes, had been set 12 impossible labors. The 11th was this, to bring back the golden apples from the garden of the Hesperides, the very tree that grew at the edge of the world, tended by Atlas's own daughters. Heracles journeyed to the ends of the earth, and there he found the Titan beneath his impossible load. And Heracles had an idea. The apples were guarded closely, But who could walk into that garden more easily than the father of the nymphs who kept it? So the hero made an offer. "Let me take the sky from your shoulders, Atlas, just for a while, and you go and fetch the apples that no one will deny you." For the first time in uncounted years, Atlas felt the weight lift. He stood upright. He walked. He went to his daughters and took 3 of the golden apples, and he came back to the hero holding the sky, and something turned over in his mind. Why take the burden back at all? He held the apples. He was free. He could carry them himself and leave the hero here, bent under the heavens forever. And Atlas told him so. Now Heracles was strong, but he was also clever, and he knew he had been outmatched by strength alone. So he did not argue. He agreed. "Yes," he said, "of course you deliver them. Only this weight sits so cruelly on my bare shoulders. Let me pad them with a cushion first, so I can bear it the long ages to come. Just take the sky one moment while I fix it in place." And Atlas, who had never been the cleverest of his line, set down the apples and lifted the heavens back onto his own shoulders. Heracles picked up the golden apples from the ground and thanked him and walked away. That was the reprieve, one glimpse of the open road, one moment upright under the sun, and then the weight again, forever, made heavier now by the memory of having once put it down. Of all the cruelties in the story of Atlas, that may be the sharpest. Not the endless labor, but the single taste of freedom that was given only to be taken back. There is another story told of how Atlas met his end, and like so much in myth, it does not quite agree with the first. In this older tale, the hero who comes to the world's edge is not Heracles, but Perseus, flying home with the severed head of the Gorgon, Medusa. Atlas, warned long ago that a son of Zeus would one day rob his golden tree, refuses the traveler shelter and tries to drive him away. And Perseus, weary and insulted, lifts the one weapon no one can withstand. The face of Medusa, whose gaze turns all who meet it to stone. In an instant, the mighty Titan hardens. His beard and hair become forests, his shoulders become ridges, his bones become rock. He grows and grows until he is a mountain range at the edge of the world. And upon that stone peak, at last, the whole weight of the heavens comes to rest. Even turned to stone, Atlas holds up the sky. Which story is true? Both and neither. That is the way of myth. But notice what survives in every version: the weight and the one who bears it. That is the heart of Atlas, and it is why his name never died. The mountains of northwest Africa, where the ancients believed the sky met the earth, we still call the Atlas Mountains. The ocean beyond them, stretching past the edge of the known world, we call the Atlantic, the Sea of Atlas. His lost island kingdom gave us the name Atlantis. And when, centuries later, a mapmaker gathered his charts of the whole world into a single book, he printed on its cover the image of the Titan bearing the globe. And so every collection of maps, to this day, is called an atlas. And here is the thing worth carrying away. We remember Atlas holding up the world, but he was never punished for losing a war so much as sentenced to bear what could not be put down. Everyone, in the end, carries something: a duty, a family, a weight that is theirs alone and will not be shared. The image of Atlas has endured for 3,000 years, not because he was strong, but because he did not let go. He stood at the edge of everything, under an impossible load, and he held, so that the sky would not fall on the world behind him. That is not a story about punishment. It is a story about what it costs to hold up someone else's heaven. This has been Mythos Eternal.